Is there a me in here? A talk with Unmani.
So when we take a moment to actually check for ourselves in our direct experience if there is actually someone in here, we may be first of all confronted with all kinds of thoughts. The story of me and my life and my body, my mind, my experience, my feelings, my thoughts. And we are usually so used to taking our thoughts to really be meaningful, as if everything they say must be true. So when thought says, I am me, I am located inside here, and I'm looking out of these eyes at the world outside of me. This is the usual assumption that most people make all the time. And it's a natural assumption because this body does seem to be very real. It is real. It is as real as anything is real. And logically, according to thought, it seems as if the experience is happening to this body. And the usual assumption is that I'm in this body. But when we ask ourselves absolutely fresh, without relying on any old assumptions or beliefs, without relying on what we think, but simply asking ourselves absolutely in innocence, in not knowing any preconceived knowing, just simply right now, not talking generally over time or anything like that, but literally right now. Is there someone hearing my voice right now? Is there someone seeing this image right now? When we assume that there is someone in between the experience and that knowing that of it, we create somehow a mental barrier that separates the experience as if it's somehow separate from who I am. And so this often, well, first of all, it's the usual assumption. It's kind of considered normal, whatever that is. But also, it's often a protection against the intensity of life experience. So when we ask ourselves absolutely freshly, if there is someone in here, we might feel at first very unprotected, very naked, because I would suggest that we just find the experience, that there is simply the experience. This sound, this image, not happening to me, but just simply happening. There is knowing of it, but that knowing of it is not separate from the happening itself. It's not my experience. It's not located here and I'm in here experiencing it. It's simply happening. You could say happening in awareness. But this awareness is not the body. It's not located in the body. It's not a container of some kind. it's boundless, it's unlimited, and it's an unconditional embrace of whatever is here. So thoughts arise, not my thoughts, but just thoughts. Thoughts arise, even saying those thoughts that say, me, I am me. They arise in this awareness that I am. They are not my thoughts, but they are simply thoughts. Waves of energy, thought energy, you could say. Sensations arise. They're not my sensations. Even if thought might arise also saying, this is my sensation. It doesn't mean that it's true. It's just simply sensation arising. This goes for the whole play of experience. And of course, the attention is shifting from one aspect of the experience to another. And thought will be telling a story about what it all means, what it all means about me or about my life. And this is no problem. It doesn't disturb anyone, because there is no one in here to be disturbed. There may be an experience of disturbance, but it's not happening to me. And when we really acknowledge this, it is a freedom. It is a freedom that we know that actually none of it means anything. There's not a seriousness with it, even in certain situations which might feel very serious. And it doesn't mean that we don't feel. In fact, it can be the opposite. We can even feel more intensely the experience, because there is no longer this layer of protection, of this mental assumption of a me experiencing. In fact, life can often be experienced in a more raw and real way, more simple, more down to earth, actually, more innocent. It's simply happening, and it doesn't mean anything about me. It's much less dramatic. Even thoughts, even when the thoughts do say that there is a me, it never actually means that there is a me. And this is radical. Right? So you're free to then have all kinds of me thoughts. You don't have to start clearing up your me thoughts or changing your language so that you don't say me. Of course, we play the game as if there is a me in here. We talk about myself and yourself. Why not? There's nothing wrong with that. When you get the joke of it, then you're free to actually play as if there is a me. Because this is what we're here. This is what we're playing as. We're playing as if we are separate, so that we can meet, so that we can know ourselves and explore ourselves. So this gives so much freedom to really play in this play of me's, knowing that it's just a joke. It doesn't mean anything. We can't really talk about the fact that there is no one in here. I mean, I am doing that now, but in normal conversation, there's no point in meeting a friend and saying, there's no point in talking to you because there's no one in here. And I sometimes hear these kinds of conversations amongst spiritual seekers, and it's a bit ridiculous, I feel, because we play the game. Let's play as if there is me, me here, you there. But we don't take it seriously. even if we talk about serious things. This is simply a play, a dance of energy in who I am, as life itself, awareness itself, playing as if it is two separate entities. But it's all a play in who I am really. I'm never limited to this separate human. There is no separation, actually. I'm never located anywhere. I'm aware of a play as if there is location, as if I'm in here looking out of these eyes. This is the game, the wondrous game of life. But don't take it too seriously. It's just a game.